Hello everyone, and welcome back to another unboxing video. In the previous video, I revealed that I have the 80th anniversary Engines box set, and I reviewed Thomas and Percy and did some comparisons to other Thomases and Percys that I own. Today we'll be finishing the set that I bought by reviewing the other three engines in the pack. They're in the plastic wrap right behind me, so let's have a look at them. The next engine in the lineup, if I can get a grip, the next engine and the last motorized engine is Gordon. So here he is, Gordon. Now, I've heard a lot of critique around this Gordon, mostly because his proportions are pretty whacked. Like, I think they just use the same chassis block as Thomas, and they made Gordon using that. I will admit, he does look a little disproportionate, but I think I can look behind that because Trackmaster 2 and, by extension, Playrail have done that for a long time. They've done a lot of models that have been too short or disproportionate because they don't have, because of the types of motors inside them. So I think I'm willing to overlook that, to overlook that fact for Gordon. He has a decent looking face. It's very wide and big and fat, but yeah. This takes hello fat face to a completely different direction. Now, I like all the detail on Gordon. Like, he has the valve gear, which I mentioned in this in the other video, but I wish Percy had that too. Like the little valve gear. Because he's supposed to have something similar to this, but I'm happy that Gordon has it at least. He has those side rods, very unique and special. He has these weird back wheels, which it's weird that he has back wheels, but he doesn't have the front wheels. But you know, weirdly enough, looking at the front of this, I don't know why this is popping in my head, but I'm reminded of the Pilot Gordon, but I know it's not that at all. Also, I don't know why I just remembered this, but apparently there was actually more to this box that I didn't talk about. Like, I don't know why I didn't think to look at the box, but apparently the back does tease a potential, like, this is what the back looked like. Like, I didn't show this off, but this is what was on the other side of the box. My thought process is that these are all the characters they're considering making, or they're going to make, because they have Scotsman on there, and he was in Wave 1. So it was Thomas, Percy, James, Gordon, Nia. They were in the motorized range originally. And then Henry is in the push-along range, and Duck is in the motorized range. They haven't touched on Diesel, Toby, Emily, Ashima, Hero, Harold, Salty, and Edward. I could totally see them doing that in like a Wave 2. That's all I really wanted to say about that, so we're done with that. Also, I did find out that this actually is AI. I said I thought it was AI in the other video, but I've since confirmed this is AI, so yeah, absolute garbage. That was not worth it at all. But anyway, Gordon looks pretty. As much as we can complain about the proportions of Gordon, you can't really deny that he does still. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Gordon is the weakest of these guys, proportions wise and just looks wise. But still, I mean, I think he looks enough like Gordon for it to not matter. And I think there is a justification there too. Like, there's a reason why he looks so weird. But anyway, that's not where the gold is. The gold in this pack is with this tender. Because this tender does something that no tender engine for any of these motorized lines have ever done before. You can take the coal out. Like, I don't know of any other line that I don't know of any other, not even just any other Trackmaster line, but like any other Thomas line in general where you can take the coal out of the tenders. Like, usually the coal is just like in the tenders and you can't take it out. But no, you can take the coal out of this tender. Also, let me just find a truck. Don't ask where this truck came from. I'll reveal this in another video, but I think if you get 2 of these, you can have like a coal load for your train. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking for another one of these so I can make like a whole coal, so I can like have like coal trucks. But yeah, the fact that you can take the coal out of the tender really is kind of novel. But like, ultimately, this is just, it's what you'd expect. So, Gordon, I have some comparisons I want to make, but I really only have one engine I'm going to compare this to. I would have 2, but I've already started customizing the other one, so it's not really worth it. However, I do want to compare Gordon to this Gordon. This is the Trackmaster, or I guess okay, here's the story with this Gordon. I'm not sure if it's real or a knockoff because I bought it from Amazon and it came in like the OG packaging. I'm not sure if it's real or a knockoff. Also, the buffers weren't painted either, nor was the running board or lamp irons. I'm not sure if this was a knockoff or what it was, but even if it is a knockoff, it looks good enough, I'd say. And when I finally did paint like the cylinders and the buffers and the running board, it did look much better. I guess you guys in the comments can tell me, is this a knockoff or what is this? But anyway, comparatively, there's no question which one of these 2 Gordons looks better. It's obviously the one on the bottom. Like, this looks like Gordon. This is this is a much more squashed Gordon. So, yeah. I don't really have much else to say about Gordon. I only had this one model I wanted to compare it to. For the other 2 engines, though, I have 2 models I want to compare them to. So, at 2 each. So, Next engine. We're done with the motorized engines now. Let me just set the camera down. I'm digging the last two out of this plastic prism. Okay. Let's talk about the least interesting of the two first. Henry. I think Henry is definitely the weaker of the two. Of the two push-alongs. He's... I don't know why they made him a push-along, but not a motorized engine. Like I've said, maybe he's coming, but who knows. I like the static side rods for the push-along models. Like, the fact that... Like, I think the last time a die-cast Thomas line had side rods was Earl. Way back in the 90s. And early 2000s at best. Like that's really nice. So, unfortunately, the portions of this are not too great. Sorry, guys, I had an interruption. Someone came in the room. But anyway, back to Henry. His proportions aren't great, especially in the tender. Like, the tender is very weak. And it is missing a lot of paint. Like, the red on the buffer beam here. Overall, like, why does this tender not have a running board? I don't understand. Henry is easily the weakest model. I want to say Henry is the weakest model, but Gordon could be too. I'm not sure. At least of the ones I reviewed so far, I'm not sure which one of these two is worse. I guess I'm going to say Henry because of all the engines to make push along, and also, like, what was the point? Like, the proportions of this are weird. He looks more like James's wheel design than Henry's. Henry's probably the weakest, but, yeah, on to the comparisons. This first one isn't really comparable. It's the CGI play rail Henry. Now, I did do some custom work to mine, but you can basically see the point. The reason I brought this Henry up is because it is a CGI Henry, so... Like, you can see more so on this Henry what his wheel configuration is. Like, he's got these 6 wheels here, and then these 4 at the front. This Henry only has 1 front wheel. Again, I feel like this would have been solved if this was a motorized Henry, but it's not. Then again, if this was a motorized Henry, he'd probably be all big and bulky with a not accurate running board like Gordon. So, yeah. The other engine that I can compare this to is easily more comparable. It's the AEG Henry. I talked about this in a review previous. This model was in a previous review. I think, for the most part, everything about this Henry originates from this Henry. Like the wheel design, like the wheel configuration. Yeah, a lot of things from this Henry originated from this one. So, I believe the most different things about it are the fact that it's, aside from the fact that this one is CGI and this one is AEG, those side rods, the tender, and the overall body shape are a little different. But aside from that, they're basically the same. Now let's move Henry aside, and we'll look at the last engine in the lineup and the best of the push-along models, at least thus far, James. Now, I don't know what the common consensus is on this James. I think some people think he's a little too long. But ultimately, I think he looks pretty good. Like, they made him longer so you can get all of his wheels in there. I will argue maybe it shouldn't have this much overhang, but besides that, it looks fine. I do wish he had black wheels like in the show. And what is up with the gold side rods? Like, I don't know where that came from, but I don't think it's terrible. His tender is literally just the AEG tender. Honestly, I think I would have preferred if they just used the CGI James tender. Even though it has, like, no weight to it. The reused tender, just, I don't know. He does look pretty good, I suppose. He's much better than Henry. I think, I mentioned this in the other video, but the only ones that I think actually are proportionally accurate to the show, like, fully, are Thomas and Percy, because they're tank engines and they lend themselves more to the style present. James, and by extension, Henry and Gordon over there, don't so much, but yeah. I wouldn't say it's bad. James is definitely better than Gordon and Henry. I have two comparisons for James. One of them, again, is not comparable. It's the Playrel 2002 James. I'm just bringing this one up because why not, I guess. Like, this is my superior James model. It looks like James in almost every way. This model, not so much. But, yeah. Moving you aside, I do have a AEG James, but I can't find him at the moment. I don't actually know what happened to him. But I do have the CGI original push-along James. I painted the running board on mine, but aside from that, this is basically how he looks out of box. As you can see, the original James has only 6 wheels. I very much appreciate that for this one they gave him all of his wheels. And this is the tender I'm talking about. It looks more accurate, but ultimately it's not proportionally right with the wheel size. This James's tender is just AEG James. And comparing the faces, I think they basically just tried to copy the old James's tender, the old James's face with the new one. Focus. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of see it. But, yeah, I think that's basically all I have to say for James. So, overall, the 3 big engines, like, they have their problems proportion-wise. But aside from that, I think they're welcome additions. I think people have been a little hard on them because they are a little proportionally disaccurate. But the important thing is that Mattel is trying. And I'm sure for future models, they may try to improve this design. So, overall, now that I have this pack, what do I think of the new 80th anniversary stuff? Well, this pack has definitely made me happy I bought this stuff. I don't regret buying this. I think the tank engines were wonderful. Thomas and Percy were great proportion-wise. And I enjoyed James a little bit too. Gordon and Henry do kind of bother me, but aside from that, I think it's worth picking these up. I paid like 30, 40. I paid like $39 to $40 for this, and I had it shipped from Amazon. So, do I think it's worth that price? I think it is. But honestly, I'd say this would probably do better at around $25. Um, the only things I would say, if you feel like you need to make this 30 um 30 to $40, at least to give Thomas and Percy their rolling stock and add maybe another character, like if the duck was in this line, or if the duck was in this set, I would have definitely supported it. And if Thomas and Percy had their rolling stock too, or even just give them each a generic troublesome truck, so you can do something with these engines once you have them. But yeah, let me get batteries in Gordon, and I'll run him with James and Henry. I ran Thomas and Percy in the other video, so today's running segment will be focusing just on these three. So let me get batteries in Gordon. Also, we gotta get that screwdriver money shot. I'm gonna hope the screwdriver money shot is on camera. Alright, now let's get going. Also, I should let you know that more updates have happened to the layout since Thomas and Percy had such problems during their running section. So it's in the middle of being updated, so we'll see how this goes. Oops. Oh, Gordon. Thomas, I don't know how you managed to pull that off, but somehow you did it. Like, he was on this track, and then somehow he got onto that one. I have no idea. Like, Percy literally just bumped into him, and he went onto that track. And now Percy just rammed into that car. Percy, what are you doing? Come on. What is going on back there? Thomas, just work for a moment, please. Up, and he's off. Alright, since they're being so troublesome on their own line, I'm going to run them on the same one as Gordon, Henry, and James. And Thomas jumped the tracks, of course. Oh my God, Thomas. Oh, and now Percy's caused a log jam. So yeah, there's the 3-pack. To recap, I do recommend it, but I think just be wary. Some of these engines jump the track a lot. So I think that's going to do it for this video. So until next time, toot toot, tangle tangle, Clixie McGee.